What's up guys, my name is Tom. Welcome back to my channel. Well, in this video we're gonna install a catch can into the Jeep. So I had, when I originally rebuilt the top end of the motor, I bought a catch can off of Amazon and I ran it for about an oil change, and then when I went to empty it I realized that even though we have a nipple here that's probably 5/8 or something like that, inside the hole was probably less than a 1/4 inch. And I realized that, and I'm kind of thinking it's probably a bit of back pressure on the crankcase vent because it's meant to run through a bigger hose than a 1/4 inch. So I kind of had cheaped out at the time because I spent so much money on the parts rebuilding the engine that I just ran out of money and bought something cheap. So today we're going to be putting in a ProVent 200, which is a legit oil air separator, catch can, whatever you want to call it. This thing actually has a removable filter element, which is nice. It goes right back in there and snaps shut. So this thing is legit. So we're going to get that installed in the Jeep. There's no mount for this in the Jeep, so we're actually going to make a mount on the vacuum modulator unit that controls the vacuum for the variable geometry turbo. Has a little hole on it, so we're going to actually create a bracket out of some 1/4 inch aluminum stock. We'll measure it up, drill some holes, make a little bracket, and actually get this thing mounted. Even though it's only one hole, I'm pretty sure it'll hold it up pretty good, especially because I'm going to have this drain hose on here, and I'm going to zip tie this drain hose to something down under the Jeep, so that's going to help kind of support the weight of it. And this isn't very heavy to begin with, so it actually comes with this bracket that goes around it. So we're going to get that to the right length, then we're going to measure on that piece in the Jeep and find out exactly where our hole has to go to make everything line up. Drill it in, and then we're going to use, let's see, we got some 25mm inside diameter hose, which is going to go on there, and then we're actually going to use that as couplings with the 5/8 hose because this fits in there really nicely. So let's get this thing installed. tucked all nice and neat in there. Like it wasn't stuffed enough in this engine compartment. But you can see the aluminum bracket there. You got that golden bolt holding it to this little tower that is a vacuum modulation system. And then, so you got the blow-by gases coming out of the crankcase, going into the top of the catch can. And then you can see the elbow further down is actually the outlet from the catch can. And then that hose actually goes down in there. And come on, focus. And then actually goes into another hard elbow that goes into the intake elbow. And that where that clamp is actually the intake of the front of the turbo right there. So there we go. So now instead of the oil coming out of those blow-by gases and going into the intake and crudding up the valves, it's going to get trapped by our catch can there and then dumped out into that clear tube that's underneath. And I'll take you guys underneath the car and show you what that looks like. So I just put a 1/4 turn valve on the end of this hose. So when I go to do my oil change, just open it up, let all that waste oil drain out of there, and then close it. And that's that. So there we go. We got the Fumoto right there. We got that 1/4 turn valve right there. So I'll empty that catch can every time I do an oil change and keep that crappy oil from going in the intake. Good deal.